Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Let me start with a question. Has anyone here ever trusted the GPS only to end up stuck in a one-way street? Well, getting a guide dog can feel a lot like this. Whity is my second guide dog, and yes, my prior experience helps a lot, but challenges are different every time. Back then, when I was getting my first guide dog, let me just have her over here for a second. Sydney. When I got my first guide dog, I thought, finally, smooth sailing. I'll never walk into a random trash can again. But here's the thing no one tells you about. Getting a guide dog is only half of the solution. The other half? Figuring how to work together. Take the first week, for example. The dog is supposed to be guiding me to safety, right? Yeah, except that she decides that the quickest route is through a narrow passage. Boom! Shoulder meets a wall. I quickly figured that Walls and I were going to have a close relationship for a while. And I caught myself thinking, great, I got a guide dog, now I need a helmet and we're good to go. Now, this is not a funny story about a dog with an odd sense of direction. There's a bigger point here. The adjustment period between a guide dog and their handler can tell you a lot about how digital accessibility works for real people in real life. It's not enough to claim something is accessible. Take websites, for example. They're compliant, they've ticked all the boxes, some of them, not all of them. But I'm still finding those walls. Ever trying to navigate a screen reader-friendly site where the menu is endless and you're stuck looping between list, end of list, list, end of list? You cannot exit. That's the digital version of hitting a wall. And as I said, it's not enough to have something being compliant, it has to be accessible. Just like with the guide dog, there's a whole learning curve involved. That's why guide dog trainers wear blindfolds toward the end of the training of the guide dog, so they can test it. Another example I can think of, touchscreen terminals. And they should be convenient for everyone, right? Yeah, except it's more like Battleship if you're blind. It's submit button, miss. Cancel button, miss. Oh, where's anything here? I had a moment early on with my guide dog, not this one, my first one. She took me to a bus stop. I was looking for a bus stop. Everything looked great, but we were at the wrong bus stop. So this comes to give a lesson that even if you're heading in the right direction, without some adjustments, you may end up somewhere else. Same goes for digital accessibility. So whether it's software products or guide dogs or whatever related to accessibility, the thing I want you to remember is that accessibility is about real people navigating those very real spaces, whether virtual or physical. And yeah, being compliant on paper is not being accessible. It's not like really being accessible. It could be, but it takes a lot of patience, takes a lot of feedback loops, a lot of asking, and yes, some negative feedback sometimes, and occasional few walls, hitting a few walls when on the way of creating the things. It is doable, and yes, if you want to chat some more on this topic, we're over here in the networking corner. You can look for Whity, you can find us. Thank you for being with us, and please mind the walls on your way out. Bravo, good job.